Okay, now I want to talk about how women lose interest in their husbands or find their husbands are, no longer attractive to them. And this does happen more often than you think. Very often, women just won't voice the fact that they no longer find their husbands attractive because it would obviously very likely spell the end of the marriage, because a man simply would not stay with a woman who was not attracted to him, or at least a real man would not stay with a woman who's not attracted to him. By the way, you should never do that, okay? If your wife genuinely is not attracted to you and starts treating you like rubbish, because that's what they do when they're not attracted to you, you should just leave her. That's the simple solution. There are plenty of other women out there, and many of them would find you very attractive because all women are not equal, you know. So there's no need to put yourself through the torture of being with a woman who doesn't find you attractive. It doesn't matter what you look like, there's definitely going to be women out there that find you attractive, right? So, and also aesthetics are not finally the deciding factor on how attractive you are or not. Again, like I said in the previous video, aesthetics may be the initial point. Like a woman may find you attractive aesthetically to begin with, but then as the relationship progresses, there are so many other factors that would determine her level of attraction to you, and then all women are not equal and the same. So trying to figure out exactly what women want and what they find attractive in a man and what you need to do to remain attractive to her, it's an exercise in futility, because from woman to woman, most women don't know what they want anyway, okay? If you sit down for any amount of time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes with a woman, and ask her, look, what do you really want in a man? And she starts unpacking a list for you, and you go down the list, you'll find that most of the elements on that list would contradict itself in any case, you know. On the one hand, a woman who sometimes says that, okay, she wants a man who's strong, who's independent, who's focused, who knows what he wants in life. And then at the same time, she would also like a man who is going to oblige to her will and her need, and who's going to be somewhat subservient to her, and who's going to give her her way all the time, and obviously that anyone would tell you a man who is very focused in his life, orientated, he's very successful, and he knows exactly what he wants, is also not a man who kowtows to the will of a woman, okay? It's just those two things don't go together. So you find women are attracted to the man, the alpha male, attracted to the man who is assertive, who's bossy, who knows what he wants, etc. But then when she lives with the alpha male, when she finally has the man, then she wants to make him into her lackey, you know. She wants to boss him around and tell him what to do and have him ask her permission for, you know, anything from, you know, I don't even want to get into all the things that she might need him to ask her permission on, okay? And of course, a man who's an alpha male, who's the leader in his community, who's knows what he wants in life, who has vision and all of that, he's not going to kowtow to a woman, especially not his wife, especially not the woman that he's living with, okay? So, attraction. Let's get to the attraction. Your wife is not attracted to you, okay? And here's the dilemma of it, okay? So, women are generally attracted to alpha men, okay? But when a woman stays in a long-term relationship with a man, then she attempts to manipulate and soften him up over the course of the period of the relationship. And then she tries to get him to kowtow to her. And if he doesn't obey her, and if he doesn't listen to her and give her what she wants to when she wants to, then she throws tantrums she tries to use his love for her and the fact that he's emotionally connected to her as a source of her strength and his weakness, basically. And so then she gets her way with him. But here's the irony, okay? Sometimes the things which women feel are most practical for them in their lives in order to get away with their husbands, they will enacted through their husbands and with their husbands, is also the same thing that makes them feel as though they're not really attracted to their husband. So the irony of it is, guys, is this, frankly, okay, and this is just generalizing, but frankly, the guy that is least attractive to his wife, the husband who the wife is not attracted to, is the one that she has lost respect for, okay? But the one that she has lost respect for is usually due to his giving into her will, right? So when she demands things from him constantly and he always gives into her, and when she manipulates him through the use of his emotions because he's emotionally connected to her, right? And she gets it right, okay? Then she loses respect for him, okay? And so unfortunately, men don't have the luxury always, with most women, they don't have the luxury to be emotionally free, meaning a man who cries in front of his wife, who gets very emotional in front of his wife, is often viewed, wrongly so of course, but is often viewed as being weak, okay? Because society has emerged, okay, in such a way that when women express emotions, okay, from the woman's perspective, her emotions are what makes her vulnerable, and her emotions are what renders her weak, in the sense that people can take advantage of her because of her emotions. So when a man exhibits too much emotional content, right, he's an emotional man, then she views it as being feminine, effeminate, okay? And she mistakenly thinks that because he's emotional and vulnerable to her, okay, that he is now incapable of navigating the world, right? It's psychological, basically. She doesn't go through these mental processes, but it's psychological. It proves to her that he is now incapable of actually being successful in the world and navigating the world and being a real man in the world, right? Because he's vulnerable to her, okay? And therefore he's not a real man, and now he's no longer attractive to her. So often men do not have the luxury of expressing their hearts or their emotions or their feelings to their wives, okay, in many societies, because the minute they do that, the woman, being immature, basically, will view that as weakness and will no longer respect the man, and as a result will no longer find the man attractive or desirable sexually, okay? So that's an unfortunate thing, man. You don't have the luxury of really being romantic, because romance is something you should just leave for women, okay? You don't have the luxury of being romantic or too much interested in or in tune with the woman in your life, because if you are, they will no longer respect you. Not all women are equal, obviously, in that regard, but in general, especially, this is especially true about Western women, okay? Eastern women, Arab women, Indian woman, Pakistani woman, from Asia and so on, they wanted to sorry, I just got a message that distracted me. Eastern women, Asian women are more familiar with men, Arab and Asian men, who tend to be more free in expressing their emotions and their affection towards their children and towards their women and even to men. Okay, so the culture is very different, and in that culture, obviously, it's okay. So basically, in short, what I'm saying, guys, if you're finding that, okay, maybe your wife is not as attractive to you, or she's not interested in you very much, probably it's because you are too interested in her. So the way to remedy that is to spend less time with her, spend more time with your friends, spend more time focusing on the things that you want to do in your life, and do it. Thank you very much.